Joining us for a bit is Cattle Commissioner Mike Middleton. Hey, Mr. Mike, welcome back to Keel. How are you this morning, sir?
Good morning. I got my daughter in town from Atlanta visiting, so we're doing good today. How are y'all?
Good. Let's start off with a little get-together yesterday. Larry English at the Cattle Commission. Larry English makes a presentation to you and the other commissioners. Before we get into specifics, specific requests for cash or other aid, what were your general impressions of yesterday's meeting?
Oh, I thought it was a great presentation. Larry did a fantastic job in putting it all out there. And I hope everything succeeds on the whole project. Also, the other gentleman that came in did a pitch as far as the tech-savvy folks. They did a great job, too. But, the type of program that they're pushing, I think we could already accommodate that in a more immediate future with some buildings in downtown Shreveport. And I'll just give you a fact that, Bayou came here, and because they liked what was available to them on the high-speed internet stuff that's available to them through AT&T, and so they were able to take over the old Silver building that the Parish Commission helped make that happen. And I thought that was a great program, and I think we'd like to talk to these other folks and get them on in here too, and instead of putting it down the road. They got a great business. Let's get that on the road.
Mike, am I crazy to tell you this was the first time I'd heard a number of how much money they want from government, $46 million? Had you heard anything about that kind of dollar amount yet?
No, that was news to me yesterday also, Aaron. But, as y'all know, I voted no on the project, hoping it for success. But my deal is that the only skin that the commission has, we have some property down there that would help them to facilitate their needs. And if they need that property, tell us what they have to offer. Give us something equal to be able to do what we're doing already on that, which is warehousing. And if that's what it takes, let's talk about that. As far as having this resolution to have this discussion, I don't know that's really necessary. They can talk with any 6 commissioners at any time and discuss these things. And so I don't know why we really need to have this resolution for this non-binding. Non-binding is just to me, it's just a premise. It's to start something else, to have the discussion. Okay, then what do you need? Well, we need some land. Okay, what do you need after that? Well, we need some money. And I'm just leery of that. I think it's a great program if all of it comes together, and I don't want to be the thing that stops it. But I just think that this is a $1 billion project, and it's going to take some serious money. Now, if the governor was coming to us and say, hey, we're going to move the federal building once this is done, if the school board comes and says, hey, we're going to move schools there, we want them built, and we're going to put this kind of money up, then that's what we need to start talking about. The government part of it is a big part of the whole process. So let's get the government first, and then if we need the private investors, and private investors wants to put it together, let's do that. Let's go that way.
Larry said the governor told us, and I'm quoting, I am prepared to build a new municipal complex in downtown Shreveport. I have money for affordable housing. I asked the governor less than a week ago if he was on board for building a new state office
because,
building.
Pardon me, that was a quote from Paul Pratt, that the governor was, quote, on board.
And less than a week ago, Mike, the governor's office sent me his response, which said, the only thing the governor has said about this project is that it's intriguing. That sounds like a mixed message to me. How about you?
Well, yes, it is. Very much is. I wasn't privy to that information you just provided me, but that's why I'm saying it's great that private dollars want to do this, but they want public dollars to be able to facilitate it. And I'm just a little leery of that this early in the game.
He's also called for you, the parish, and the city, help me with this, create a nonprofit group to clean up the area. Can you shed more light on that?
Well, I don't have much detail on it, but I know that is a brownfield area down there, and I think there's some money available for that. That's the city's issue. I don't think any of the brownfield actually involves the Caddo Parish property because that's all on private property as far as the recycling folks go down there. We need more specifics on that. That's another very, very gray area. What's the Parish Commission have to do with that? Yeah, I understand. Well, Caddo Parish is Shreveport's located in Caddo Parish, I know, but as y'all brought up even yesterday, if we wanted to do something at Spring and Lake, I think Spring in Texas is something that Robert mentioned. Can we just go in down there and do it? We have land down there. that's of value to this project. How can we facilitate that where we can still do our day-to-day process of warehousing and other projects we have going down there? Where can we do that? Give us a satisfactory place. And if that's the only thing that's holding it up from happening, hey, let's do it. But that's where I'm at on it. It's just too little information that was made available to me prior to the meeting. And also, the characters on this is a lot of them have prior relationships outside of the parish commission too, that kind of leave me a little bit leery too.
Is there some concern on your part, or perhaps on the part of other commissioners, that GDC is coming to you at this point because you're the rich kid on the block? You guys are sitting on reserves. What is it, $145-46 million? The city of Shreveport doesn't really have that. Is there some concern on your part that you are looking at, you're a little shinier than Shreveport, perhaps?
Well, you know that, and Robert, you know I sent you those numbers. We don't have that much extra money, and I sent that information to Erin the other day, and I know she shared that with you. I appreciate if you bring that down, dial it back down to $57 million instead of $151 million, because that's a little bit more realistic. But we have been using those for funds. But yes, to answer your question, yeah, we are the kids on the block who've got a lot of money, and but we have been using that money for capital projects. We've been decreasing those funds through the years. And how much longer can we do that? As you know, we also have the Juvenile Detention Center on our plate too. What are we going to do with that? And also, yesterday, the commissioners, the ones that want to have the consortium down there, they also voted against having a citizens committee to study the potential needs of the Juvenile Detention Center. So, you know, okay, let's bring this development in. I'm okay with that, but let's don't worry about what's on our plate right now as far as making sure the judges have what they need, the tools to be able to deal with the juvenile, the 17-year-old coming over to us next year.
Mike, the one big component of this does involve the parish, and that would be the move of the district attorney and the courts. I mean, that's now a part of this that wasn't a part of it a year ago. Does the DA, do we need to move out of the Caddo courthouse? Is that something even on you guys' plate yet?
Or is it something, pardon me, that has been expressed to you or other commissioners by DA Stewart?
Well, I thought we'd already put what we needed to the DA's office. I've not heard anything fresh being spoken. I know there were some things about a year or so ago, and to be honest with you, you caught me short on being up to date on that, but I will sure look into it. But whatever we're able to provide our tenants, which is the DA, the sheriffs, and the clerks and all that, I thought we were pretty much on target where we were, where we need to be on all that matter. I can't really swear to that. I have to talk with Parish Administrator Woody Wilson to see what our latest is on those particular issues. But I've not had the DA come to me and say, hey, we need more room. Let's go ahead and build this $1 billion project down here, and then we'll have all the room we need. I just don't see that happen again. I'd like to see something coming from the governor's office that, hey, this is what we're intending to do if you provide this. DA's office says, hey, we need additional, or we need updated. I mean, in the parishes, and again, I said about capital improvements, we've been putting this money towards capital improvements. When the sheriff needs something, or the DA or the clerk, that's what we do. That's how we make capital improvements out of those funds, that $50-something million that used to be higher than that. That's what we do. And I think we do a good job at that. I don't want to leave the courthouse. You know, also the courthouse, now they want to remove the memorial, and then also now let's just go ahead and move the whole courthouse. That just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm sorry. I may be a little simple guy on some of this stuff, simple-minded, or maybe just not far enough reaching, but maybe my 64 years has given me a little bit more practical thought about this process.